Kari Lake appeared on CNN with Dana Bash over the weekend, and a couple interesting moments to show you here. The first, they're both in relation to the anti-democratic stance that Kari Lake has. And the first is just her getting confronted on the lies that she's told about the 2020 election. And I want you guys to know, because I've had some conversation with people like, should we just let it go? Should we stop talking about the 2020 election or stop talking about this particular, man in Donald Trump or the movement and the red? No, this is the most important thing within the political world right now, because everything else is threatened by this, right? You want to solve the broken healthcare system we have? You can't if our democracy is broken down. You want to solve injustices we have in our country, groups that aren't treated correctly? We can't if we don't have a proper democratic system to do that through. And so allowing them to hold these stances and go into this upcoming election, Kari Lake specifically, planning to say, you'll see it pretty clear in one of these moments, that if she loses, the election is stolen. This is real stuff, and this is threatening everything that we have going on good within our democratic process in America. But first, her getting confronted on her 2020 election lies.
Move on to another really important issue, particularly when it comes to your critical swing state of Arizona. And that is what happened in 2020. You called the 2020 election corrupt, stolen, rotten, and rigged. And there was no evidence of any of that presented in a court of law or anywhere else, that any of those things are true. So why do you keep saying that?
Well, there's plenty of evidence. We had 740,000 ballots with no chain of custody. Those ballots shouldn't have been counted. We had election laws.
Where is the evidence of that?
Dana, there's plenty of evidence. You can find it. I'm happy to send it to your team. The problem is the media won't cover it. And
we've covered this extensively, and what you just said has been debunked.
Only one side of it, Dana. The real issue, Dana, is that
I love that. Yeah, one side of it, the factual side. We don't cover the lies side, correct?
People don't trust our elections. They haven't since 2000. I'm a reporter. I've been sitting on your side of the desk for a long time. And since 2000, we have Americans who don't trust our elections. In 2000, in 2004, they didn't trust the elections. In 2016, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, and Hillary Clinton, everybody on the Democrat side said the election had problems.
Ms. Lake, there definitely has been some of that. But I want to say in 2000, Al Gore conceded. In 2004, John Kerry conceded. In 2016, Hillary Clinton conceded, and we didn't see that.
Yes. So we'll stop this clip there, but that's the exact response that has to be given, because we hear so often this whataboutism from certain Republicans who want to apologize for Trump's actions and say, hey, there's Democrats in the past who had issues with the way that their election went, or raised questions, or whatever it is, and that makes it equal. That makes it not bad what Trump is doing. And as Dana Bash highlights, wait. You brought up 2000, and you brought up 2016, and then she also puts in 2004. In all these examples, the Democrat conceded. They always talk about Hillary Clinton and still hasn't accepted Trump's victory. She came out on election night or the morning after and said we need to accept Donald Trump as our president. So what are we talking about? There's no comparison here. The only way that this would be a proper comparison is if, let's take 2016 for example. Hillary Clinton comes out election night, says this election was stolen. I got more in the popular vote. The electoral college is rigged. And then got Barack Obama to do everything possible to keep Trump from getting in the White House and bring Hillary Clinton as the president. And then they did all these things, and even if it failed, they continued to tell people that no, the real person who's supposed to be in the White House is Hillary Clinton, and that would make it comparable. Is that what happened? No. And it's so aggravating when they do that, and so you have to not even give it any air. And then here's Kari Lake getting asked if she will concede if she loses, or what she'll do if she loses the election, and she refuses to give a clear answer.
Consistently on the campaign trail. Let's look forward then.
Can we talk
Will you
about
accept the results of the election in your election? Will you accept the results?
Can we talk about the issues? I came on here thinking we were going to talk about the issues facing Arizonans right now.
We did.
And you've spent the entirety of this time talking about 2020. I think you're stuck on 2020. I really do.
I have interviewed.
Just so you know, Kari Lake has made it a center point of her campaign that the election was stolen from Trump. So pretending like it's wrong for the interviewer to challenge you on that is completely silly.
Many Republicans, and haven't even mentioned it, I only did with you because this is a big thing that you are running on. Let's look ahead,
Dana,
and let's talk about
Dana.
the 2022 election. Will you accept the results of your election, Ms. Lake?
I'm running against a twice convicted racist who cost the state taxpayers.
So that's not what the question was, and you'll see after she's done with her rant over here. Dana Dash continues.
Like Katie Hobbs,
My question is, will you accept the results of your election in November?
I'm going to win the election, and I will accept that result.
If you lose, will you accept that?
I'm going to win the election, and I will accept that result, because the people of Arizona will never support and vote for a coward like Katie Hobbs, who won't show up on a debate.
There it is. It's funny because a little bit of a caricature. I'm going to accept the result because I'm going to win. I'm going to accept it. But it's not funny because she's just saying, I'm perfectly willing to spit on our democratic process and the legitimacy of the results by saying that, just like what Trump did, if you remember that bizarre David Wallace interview he did before the election where he just would not say that he concede. I don't know yet is what he kept saying. And Kari Lake's doing a similar thing. And this is why it was so correct for Democrats and reasonable people of any ideological walk of life to call out in 2020 and shortly after the election and all of the ruckus that was going on then, how this is representative of a larger threat that is posed and something that we will see manifest itself later. And that's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing a very Trumpy-like candidate in Kari Lake not respect the process that we have in place. That is the only way we keep peaceful transitions from one person in power to another in all these different places. And so it's very, very scary to see that she's setting up this very dangerous situation.